Well, hi there, Carol Dockum here with the CEO and founder of beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. And we are super excited today because we actually have a special training, a power hour with Lisa Kempton with Sage Peak Business Solutions. And Lisa is really a master at automation and systems. And if you don't have those things in place, it's very difficult for you to actually work as in your zone of genius, because you're too busy working in your business versus on your business. So I always say, at the end of the day, everyone really buys into you. You're the face of your own company, the face of your brand. And if you're out there, sharing and solving your problems, solving problems for, not your problems, solving problems for your future clients and customers and your ideal clients and customers, they're going to buy from you because they know, like, and trust you, right? So it's kind of difficult to get out there and network and find those ideal clients and customers if you're busy working in your business. So Lisa is going to be sharing with us today. I want to just share this fabulous screen here. She is going to be sharing with us today some strategies and systems. Let's see here on for your business. So here she is. I just love this. I just had to share this because I spent a lot of time creating this lovely slide, our Power Hour live training with Lisa Kempton, Sage Peak Business Solutions. You can find her on our website at Beautiful Places Going, shoot, I can't even talk today. beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. She is on our success team. And I'm just thrilled to introduce her. And I'm just going to pass over the mic because for some reason I'm not able to talk today. So Lisa, let's dive into business strategies and automation and our live Q&A. And we also want to introduce Krista.
Thanks so much, Carol. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you and all that you do for small business. I think that you bring so much value to people. It's amazing. And I know that I have been incredibly blessed to be a part of this organization, to be a part of your last virtual business week. I mean, I just love having the opportunity to talk with people and to tell them about what I do. And you provide so much opportunities for people to do that. So I appreciate that very, very much. And I'm so excited to be here today.
Yeah.
So we're talking automation, and Krista has agreed to be one of my guinea pigs. Hopefully more are able to show up. There's been it's been a day for some people already, so that's okay. Oh, we've got Teresa coming, so she
right.
Anyway, so hi, Teresa. So we're talking automations, and Krista, why don't you just start off telling us a little bit about your businesses, because you kind of have several different things that you do and how you help people. So just kind of give people a little bit of a heads up on all of that.
Okay, so my primary business is Cincy Photo Pro. We're a commercial and real estate photography company primarily. So we do a lot of real estate photography, branding sessions, headshots, that sort of thing. I do have a small segment where I still do personal and weddings, but that's very limited, kind of more on as people request it type of thing versus promoting it. And to bring value to my commercial clients in particular, or just the people I network, I started another business where it can bring value by reducing cost of some of those daunting monthly expenses like your energy, your cell phone, and even credit card processing. So we just do free, no obligation evaluations so that we can help lower those bills. And what I love about it is it's no cost to the customer at all and just brings value to my current customers. So I kind of try to combine the two, but that's where I'm looking to you, Lisa, is because trying to be the main person who markets and runs my businesses, it's getting a little overwhelming. So some of those daunting tasks, if we can automate them, will just help things run more smoothly, and I won't miss follow-ups, and I can spend more time on the marketing aspect of things.
Yeah, which is what we all want. We didn't start our businesses to do busy work, right?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, and, there's been times I've looked into virtual assistants. I've looked into different automation things myself, and I know the biggest struggle is, well, if you're putting these systems in place, are you doing it right? And is it really going to be beneficial? And so sometimes I know, like me, you get overwhelmed and just do nothing instead of something. And so that's where I can look to Lisa for some guidance. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
All right. So you already answered some questions ahead of time. So I'm going to kind of talk about some of those things that you already answered so that we can kind of dive right into it. So you said some of the things that you're looking to do. You're currently not using QuickBooks, right?
Right. I'm actually working with a new CPA this week on starting the process.
Okay, awesome. So when your CPA gets up and running, how are you getting that information to them? Like, are you creating invoices still, or are they going to be creating them? What capacity are you using your CPA?
So I still will be creating invoicing. So she was going to help me either decide on continually using what I'm already using and integrating that so it automatically pulls everything in, or deciding to switch over to QuickBook invoicing. And that way, at least it's tracked and everything automatically.
Okay. So if you do switch to QuickBooks, it will become like, I'm a huge advocate for having a CRM, and a CRM that talks with other tools. Like, so many people have these CRMs that are great, except for they're very insulated. They do what they do, and then they don't talk to any other tools. So if they don't have the capabilities you need, then you're a little bit up a creek. For those people who like free and are not afraid of putting a little bit of time into something, I highly recommend Agile CRM. Agile CRM is one of the most robust CRMs I've ever found, and they let you have like tons and tons of information on there before you have to start paying. And once you do start paying, it's only $10 a month. So it's like incredibly affordable. But some of the things that it lets you do is it lets you tag individuals with different tags. So, and then the great thing is it integrates really well in different automation strategies. So once you tag something, that can be the kickoff for a different process to happen. Sorry, I got a call coming in. So like, that's one thing, is finding a CRM that will allow you to start a process like creating an invoice. You could, if with Agile or other CRMs that allow you to kind of segment your contacts, and that triggers something to happen. You can add like an invoice trigger to it, and then it automatically pulls it into the invoice. And the other thing I love about Agile is it allows you to create your own customized sections. What am I looking for? Places you fill out information so, within it. So like, and that is pulled into automations. Huh? Was that? Fields. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, it lets you to create your own customized fields, and those fields are then available when you go to do automations, which is really unheard of in a free software. So, hi.
Me, sorry.
That's fine. I'm a mom too. I totally get it. I'm like, told my family, I'm like, but you better eat before I go live, because then you're done. The main area is closed for business. So
can't help themselves.
Exactly. So anyway, so that's like one way to really throw some really great automations in, is having a great CRM in place that will allow you to connect with your other tools. Because, if you have things that are like just isolated among themselves, it's really hard to automate those strategies. So, so that is something to look at, I would say, with your invoicing.
How do you do the tags on this? So like, is this like an email tag that it's coming through, or like when you just
it's whatever you want it to be. So you would create a tag, whatever tag you want to, just like you tag anything, right? It's like a keyword that you attach to that contact. And once that keyword is initiated, then a process happens. Does that make sense?
So like, okay, if it's, so how do they initiate the tag? That's what I mean. So
you initiate the tag within your CRM. So you're like, okay, I need to invoice this person. You create a field where you put the amount that you need to invoice them. You tag it with, you tag the contact with invoice, and then it automatically pulls all their information in and creates that invoice and sends it out. So you aren't having to do all of that. You do have to put a little bit of, like you have to start it happening. Not always. Sometimes you can trigger things just by like, let's say you always send an email at the end of a certain type of conference call or appointment that you have. You always send a certain, so you could actually have that at the end, when your appointment is over, a certain email just automatically goes out. You don't have to think about that. You don't have to trigger it. But on something like an invoice where that's not going to happen in a certain time frame or in a certain process necessarily, you're probably going to have to, trigger the start of it yourself. But like I said, it's as simple as applying a tag to that contact in your CRM. Or there's multiple other ways. If you don't want to deal with a CRM and you want to work off of spreadsheets, you can do it from a spreadsheet. You could probably do it like any place that collects contact information and keeps and stores contact information for people in a format that is easy to understand. Like the tools can talk to each other easily, because like they both have sections for name, they both have sections for email, and that type of thing, and you can translate that information across pretty quickly. So but yeah, there's lots of ways to do that. It just is a matter of figuring out what works best for you in your current system. I'm a big advocate of not trying to change people's systems too much, because if I come in and be like, all right, we're going to do things completely different, then you're never going to do it. You're never going to institute those processes because it doesn't work the way that you think, the way that you like to do things. So
yeah, exactly. Well, Lisa,
all right.
if you don't mind, we have some new guests here that joined us for your live automation strategy session and Q&A. So I was thinking, since we've got a few of us now on, why don't we go around and just introduce our names and our company, and then open up the floor for Teresa or Jim or Kristen and Krista, if they have any more additional questions to ask regarding automations, they can dive in. All right. All right, Jim, I'll let you go.
Hi. Well, I'm Jim Gray. I think I know everybody here, but I do video work and work with social media. Video's tied in with so many different things, so it's kind of like all big photography, video, marketing, sales. Really, I'm into sales and marketing, if you really want to call it that, but video is the key component of that I work with. But getting the message across that you're trying to get across, really, I'm focusing more now on short messaging. People can get their iPhones out. They can do it on Facebook. They can do it in different ways. But I'm, working with what I can do, green screen or whatever, depending on with this current situation. So I'm shoring up on a lot of my skill sets and things that I've been learning and growing with those things on stuff. I have a lot of equipment and things that I work with.
Awesome. Well, think of a question that you can ask Lisa. This is our opportunity really to get some questions answered, or try to figure out how to streamline some of our back office systems and automation. And Teresa, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I think my question would be, working with, like I have my contact book and I put contact information in, and I'm trying to focus in on how to organize that better with, categories and, trying to get now that we're sort of stuck in the mud a little bit here, trying to get more organized and who are my customers, who I've worked with. But do you have experiences with, I mean, I know a lot about relational databases and things like that, but I'm just kind of curious to what you might use as a, like I know there's Salesforce.com, there's other different companies. Like for a small guy like me, who doesn't want to spend $300-400 a month on a CRM, you know, like what do you recommend? I mean, you know, like in terms of tracking the information, storing the information, automating, following up, you know, I mean, I know sales, but I need to have a better, I have too many file folders all over the place. And
Yeah, I totally get that. So I was just talking about Agile CRM, and I just keep coming back to it. I try different things, and I just keep coming back to it because it lets me do so much.
what is it?
Agile, A-G-I-L-E.
A-G-I-L-E. Okay, great. Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so, okay. Sorry, Kristen, Kristen's here, and so but she texted me too, and I was like, uh-oh, is something wrong? But she just said she's driving, so she can't like be on camera yet. Yeah, so that is, it's just, it integrates so well with so many different things, and it definitely helps to do that customization and that segmentation, because like you're right, you have some people that are just contacts in that you want to maintain that relationship because you think you're going to be able to maybe partner together or things like that in the future. You have other people who are looking to, you know, you think that they might be a potential sale in the future, and you want to nourish that relationship. And then you have other people who are current customers that you want to nourish and keep them on their customer journey so that they become your raving fans. So those are all different things that you need to look at and different processes you need to have in place. And a lot of people think that just kind of happens naturally, or like, you know, you just have to keep everything top of mind. Oh, okay, so this contact I need, where am I in that process? Oh, okay, this I need to do this. Oh, this person. But if you can automate, and part of automation might just be creating reminders about where you are and what you need to do next. But a lot of times there are a lot of things that you can automate that make it seem that you're really invested in contacting them and doing it, but you're actually not. You've automated that process. So text message, you can do something called a ringless voicemail. So it rings and then it goes straight to voicemail, and you can pre-record a message for that. There are things where, you know, if being quick on sales is really important. So like if someone signs up for something free and then you need to like contact them right away, there are ways to have like that phone call or text message automatically be sent to you with all that contact information in it. So you can be like, so-and-so just signed up for your program, call them now type of thing. Because if you can contact someone within 5 minutes of them giving you their information or purchasing something or whatever, their likelihood of continuing in your funnel, let's say, is, what it was, it like 9 times greater, I think I saw, or something like that. It's just, you know, like this huge, if you can, you know, have that in place. And then if you don't, you know, the great thing is like you can also have it continue on, so that if you don't have a chance to call, you can still have other ways of contact happening right away. Email is another one. I love email, but I hate email providers like Mailchimp and Constant Contact, because mail platforms are getting really, really smart and learning how to filter out everything that comes from those type of things. So when it can come natively from your email in an automated way, it's going to have a whole lot bigger of an impact than if it goes through one of those services. So, you know, there is definitely, I think that all newsletters should come from that type of service. I think there should be an unsubscribe button on anything that is like that. If you have someone in a drip campaign that is really, really salesy, that needs to have an unsubscribe. But if it's the same contact that you would have initiated yourself, hi, checking in, making sure that you know everything for the upcoming event on Thursday. I'm so excited to have you participate with us. Let me know if there's anything you need from me beforehand. You know, that's what you're going to send anyway, right? But it's just taking that off your plate and automating that in a process. Go ahead.
Good question about the Mailchimp, getting back to that.
Yep.
what's your experience, you know, because obviously I'm doing video and I'm thinking like, okay, you put a video in the Mailchimp. Do you find that that's working or not working, or people don't care if there's a video or it makes a difference? Or
No, I think video does help. I think if they open it, and maybe that means that you need to have in brackets, you know, see the video or things like that, so that they know there's a video inside. But people are also getting a little bit tired of video because you like, you know, if you,
okay, you can tell me. I mean,
no,
I can take it.
you just have to do it in the right way, right? People like, if it's a personalized video, that's really good. If it's a really salesy video, that's maybe like you need to find the right time and the right place for that type of thing. It's there. There's definitely a right time and right place, but you just have to look at your customer and what they're going to respond best to and give them that, instead of just being like, you know, everyone is different. Everyone has a different ideal customer, and everyone's ideal customer. But I do like with video, a text message. And with just a link, hey, here's a quick video I wanted to share with you, you know, like when you have time. I really like that. It's really simple. It's really unobtrusive, but you can make a really great impact with that. And text message has a 90% open rate. So you're likely to get that video viewed, especially if
not so much the Mailchimp thing or the newsletter or all this, but you're saying if I use a quick little video and a text message, I say, hey, here's something you might want to see or you might want to watch, or.
Yeah, that, I mean, there's that part of it. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's going to depend on your own. Whereas you are a videographer and people are coming to you for video, you definitely want to show them as much options as you can with video. That is a great thing. Whereas, you know, with me, and people might be opening my emails more on the go or something like that. And a video is something that they might, you know, because I'm working with really small businesses that are often, you know, like not necessarily in an office, let's say. That might not be as strategic for me. So the video is just a link. So Teresa asked, what's the time limit? And it doesn't matter because it's just a link to your video that you're sending in the text message. There is a way to send visual text messages, but those start to look very coupon-y. So if you like that for that situation, that's really good. But if you're trying to do something like, hey, this is me just on the go texting you, that's not going to be, you know, you're not going to be like sending them something you created out of Canva, like, hi, I'm Teresa, you know, that type of thing. It's what is your intention for what you're trying to do? So,
okay.
All right, Teresa, how about if you introduce yourself?
Okay. I'm Teresa Vermillion. Thank you. My business is Lighter Life Coach, and I help women go from overwhelmed and overweight to having a lighter body and a lighter life. I merge life coaching skills with my expertise in fitness and wellness coaching. Did all that come out okay?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Teresa,
I love your new brand.
Yeah, I saw that, you know, that you posted that you changed that. I love that name. I think it is so great. It invokes what we need right now, which is some levity, some lightness, some joy in our lives. We need to stop being like oppressed.
Mm-hmm. And we have a choice about that.
We do.
We always have a choice about that. And that's what's hard to see everybody. And it doesn't mean that things aren't real or that we don't feel, but you know, we have a choice then also in how we react to that and shift. But that's another talk for another day. It might be hard keeping me on track tomorrow, Carol.
I was going to say, actually, you're going to be talking about that tomorrow, right? At Spark Conversations and New Connections at Beautiful Faces Going Places. So you're going to be facilitating that. That's exciting.
Thanks.
I got a quick question for you. I'm working with my diabetes issues, and I've been I just wondered what your opinion is. Like I would a lot of times sleep at night and then get up and snack and then go back to bed, work on the computer, snack. I had this pattern of snack during the middle of the night, you know, different spells, go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. So what I'm trying to do now is go to bed at 11 and not just drink water between 11 and 6, like that fasting period. Will that pay off down the road, or is that something that's a good idea? I mean, it seems like it is, but whatever.
Yes. You mean you're not going from 11 to 6 in the morning without eating?
No.
Okay. And I'll be very clear.
I'm trying to now. I'm starting to do that.
Right. Diabetes is not my niche. I think it depends if you're on insulin or not and those kinds of things. And that isn't even really long enough to be considered a fast. Most people would do that anyway. Like that's what,
not me.
like 7 hours. But again, you have, like you need to keep that blood sugar level, right? So
Yeah.
we would need to talk a little bit closer. And if I don't have answers for you, I can either find them or find somebody that does have the answers. But the intermittent fasting thing, and I am not into gimmicks. I'm not into fads. I don't think keto is right for everybody. I won't do I don't encourage cleanses and challenges. Like I don't run challenges because, it's just like, it's not the right mentality. It tells you, you're telling your brain, this is temporary, and you're not really trying to change. You're just going to change your behaviors for a short amount of time to reach a goal. The intermittent fasting, though, does have the science and the research that backs it up, especially for women in a certain demographic. It is effective for losing that postmenopausal weight gain. Sorry, again, like not speaking to you're not in my niche, but it is. We need to. We can go, and it depends too. Is your goal just to quit eating? Is your goal to lose weight?
No, I just wondered what what your thoughts were more than anything. I mean, it's my goal is really that I quit smoking 8 years ago, and I realized that here's a bad pattern that I've developed from 11 to 6 or 7 or whatever, and so maybe it's like, Jim, why does everybody else go to bed and don't eat snacks and everything, and you do, and then look at the scale and here's what you got, and so I've the last couple of days, about half a week or so, I've tried doing it. I feel better. I mean, I do, but it was really hard at first, I mean, it's like.
And I would be happy to get on a call with you and talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track of Lisa.
That's okay.
And also,
this is not about Jim's weight loss.
Jim. Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, how can we turn that into an automation system for Jim Gray?
Oh, I can.
I was going to say, I bet Lisa Kempton can help with that. But.
Yeah. Well, it's actually more for Teresa. Like,
okay.
This is the exact type of thing when you're onboarding someone or you're looking at, can you help them? Are you the best choice for them? Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer of having people, especially in the moment that they show interest, fill out a form. That is like the best way to really collect all the information, but also to collect information so you're not having to go back and do that yourself, right? Because every time that you're trying to find out, on a call, questioning, well, what do you do this? Do you do that? How do you do this? That's time that you're not actually finding answers for them, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have an onboarding process with potential clients, new clients, that type of thing, where you collect all this information ahead of time, then when you do get on a call with them, you know exactly, or at least you have a pretty good idea what their needs are. With Krista, she, volunteered ahead of time to do this. So I sent her the wrong form at first, but then eventually the right form. And in it asks her exactly kind of like, what is she doing now? What does she want to do in the future? What tools are she using to do this? What is she finding that is working? What's not working? If the best question I ask is, if you could take one thing completely off your plate, what would that be? And I get a very emotional, oftentimes, response from that, because there are certain things that we all just hate doing as part of our business, but know that we have to do, or at least we have to manage that system. So yeah, I would say that there's a lot of things that you can do in that regard with the onboarding, even of potential clients, in collecting of information. And I find that people sometimes it depends on the person. Some people are not going to give you the information very much ahead of time. You're going to have to do it in person or over a Zoom call or something like that. But other people, when you can say, hey, I'm here for you. I really want to help you. Maybe start with a video and tell them the whole purpose of why you're collecting this information, what it's going to do for them, that type of thing, how it's going to allow you to research ahead of time the best ways to help them. Then they're like, sure, here you go. Here's why I do the things I do. And sometimes people are much better at writing their feelings than to speak their feelings. So it's going to depend on the person. Some people are like, nope.
I'm gonna I hope you'll forgive me. I'm gonna do a but and I really get frustrated when people won't like take the help that they're there to get, and I'm gonna do that. But hopefully, just give me the grace for a minute to like. That's not what I'm about, and I can explain. So, like, you know, my history, even as a career, was a personal trainer, and I would like a form or a better way to collect that information as for myself as that conversation unfolds. First of all, I feel like it's very vulnerable for people to reach out for me for help. So that's very hard. And, you know, when I worked as a personal trainer, the first thing I would do is get clients in my office and stick a bunch of forms in front of their face and say, fill this out, and put them on a scale and be like, you know, yeah, you're out of shape and overweight. They know that. You know, that is not making them feel any better or any more comfortable to work with me. So I personally, for my business, the way I want to run it, feel very strongly about having that conversation first before I send forms.
And that is, you know, like, if you feel that is better for you, then do what's best for you. It's just, you know, there's a lot of people out there. Like, so I will play devil's advocate a little bit. How many more people could you help if you had more time to help more people?
I feel like it's not like I'm still, yeah, I can help more people. Yes.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, at some point
I'm still
in your
finding the people. I'm like, I have the time. I need the people. You know, I'm working on
You've got the time, and yes, you can help people, Teresa. I'm just so excited. I mean, I think what we witnessed right here just a few minutes ago, and this is what I love about this platform is, you know, Jim, we're all really getting to know one another here and learning from Lisa Kempton on business strategies and automation and systems. And Jim shared, you know, he actually has a problem. Well, I think we all have problems, right? And I can totally relate to him. And we happen to have a health and wellness coach, Lighter Life coach here, and she can identify with his struggle, and you know, there's an opportunity there. So how do we turn, you know, these conversations that we all have at our fingertips when we're out networking in person and networking online, how do we change? You know, we're listening and we hear someone has a struggle, a problem, and we know in our heart and soul that we have something that can help them. How do we turn that, you know, into an opportunity for a second conversation, like through some kind of automation? And it happens to me as well, as I'm out and about, you know, networking online and in person, and I'm growing our network here at Beautiful Faces Going Places. And, you know, I want new businesses to join us, and success team members and speakers and trainers and coaches. So, you know, if I had something where, you know, I'm networking in this room and I hear there's someone struggling, they need more visibility. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I hear Krista would like more visibility, you know? So, you know, what if I sent her a voice message here somehow? I have her contact information, and just say, hey, Krista, it was so nice to meet you, you know, at this event. I heard that you said this. Can we, you know, I'd love to connect with you or schedule a call. And then have that, you know, like I'm thinking of either a little video or a little voice message before the form. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, because I too am looking for more of that automation of, okay, I just met someone today, you know, and how do I, extend that? So
there's a couple ways to do that. If you do have a certain keyword that you're looking for, you could pre-record a video that doesn't say their name, but it basically says, hey, I really enjoyed connecting with you, and I heard you say whatever was that term, And I just wanted to let you know that that is what I'm passionate about. I'd love to schedule a one-on-one with you. And you know, and that can be kind of like the automated way to do that. I hesitate to say too much automation in this type of thing. What I do personally for my own networking is, what I do is I have in Agile CRM, I have a networking tag that I put on someone. So if I want to connect with them, I have a field that says exactly where we met, or, you know, how we connected, how I got, you know, initially. And then I have a sequence of several emails to invite them to connect with me and do other things. It's not just that. It's like, hey, you know, the first one is, I would love to connect with you. The second one is, I don't know if you're interested. I have this Facebook group that I'd love you to invite. I'd love to invite you to be a part of. Here's the link for that. And by the way, I still really want to connect with you. Here's my calendar link. You know, I have several of these, and they're because it is taking information that is so different for each person. It's sent to a draft folder in my email instead of going directly out. It's sent in a draft email. So I can make sure that there's nothing in there that looks weird, that the formatting didn't get crazy because I'm pulling information from a couple different places. But it's doing 90% of the work for me, and then I just have to polish up the last 10%. So that's a really, really easy way to give that very personalized attention to something without doing all of the work yourself.
Hey, Lisa, why don't you do a training class on Agile? And I'm a paying customer. I'd be willing to pay to go.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah,
great idea.
Because I mean, I don't have time to, like, I could turn that thing on and try to figure it all out, but you seem to know it like really well.
Well, I know it for what I like to do. I don't really track my sales process like I should in it, which is what most people are doing their CRMs for, but I like CRMs for more organization than anything else, and to create these automations and things like that. So I'm sure I'll get to the point where I need to use it for the sales tracking part of it. The problem, which is not a problem, but it's a problem with Agile, is there's so much you can do with it that you have to narrow down to what is important to you and your business, because you can get lost in the weeds so easily in it. I guess that is my only complaint, is it's almost too robust. It's intimidating. So I'm happy to do something like that. And kind of tell people how I use it and how, you know, that type of thing. But yeah. Back to your point, Teresa, with the onboarding, the other thing you can do is you can integrate video into forms. So instead of having just like a question, it can be like, hey, I am so happy that you are allowing me to work with you on this very personal thing, because I value that. And I know that it's hard to ask for help, and I appreciate that. And I'm here for you, and I'm listening. And, you know, and I just want to be convenient for you. So I've put together this form, but if it's not how you want to proceed forward, let's schedule a time. Here's a way you can, you know, we can do this one-on-one. So you can have kind of a hybrid version of it where, you know, because some people, like, the point of
that.
Yeah.
Will you be able to remember all that wording you just said? Because I need that.
It's recorded. It's recorded.
I was going to suggest that too. I was like, yeah, kind of doing the option of, hey, here's a form to let me better serve you when we talk, or just go ahead and schedule a call, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And but I'd love to get connected with you.
Yeah, because you said that too, Lisa. You're like, some people, sorry if I cut you off, Krista, some people do, they'd rather just like put it all on paper because it's so hard to talk about. But you know, same sometimes too, I'm like, if it's too much to write on paper, then, you know, then I can ask them questions too as things come up. So
yeah. The other thing you can do within a form is you can make it very visual. So a lot of people sometimes have a hard time like verbalizing what they want out of things. But if you give them like 5 different pictures, they might connect more in that regard. With yours, it might not work so much, but like, especially anyone like with Jim, he's doing videos with people, right? So if he had different, like, just different ways of like, you know, how formatting or things like that, what speaks to people better, you know, that's going to help them to, you know, because they're going to be like, I don't know, I've never made a video before. You're asking me to tell you what I want. I don't know what I want. I don't have the verbiage for that. But if you kind of can give them options of what to say, you know, like choose the best one type of thing, or visuals or whatever, that's going to help them to communicate better to you if they don't have the words to do so.
I love it. I mean, that's exactly, I'm redoing my website right now. I'm trying to think about, people say, Jim, you're all over the map. People have no idea what you do. You know, it's like, it's too, like you say video, and it's like saying, I'm a singer, you know, like, what does that mean? You know, like X Factor, you watch that, you go, I'm a singer. What is that? Okay. So I'm trying to focus in on key components like spotlight videos, or key, like employee, like shining video or something. Like I need to have 4 or 5 key products that aren't way overpriced that people can buy, and, or, you know, they can do it themselves, or they can hire me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your spotlights that you do, your testimonial videos.
Right.
I know I love that idea. Yeah. Of categorizing the types of videos that you create and how you
The other problem with some of these video projects, they get so, I don't know about you guys, but they get way out there. It's like you're doing like a 10-hour project. Like I just finished 11-part training series for one. I won't mention names, but so it's like, it just was a lot. I mean, the budget I put into it and the time I put into it, like, here's the budget, here's the time.
Yeah. So you just created a video course, I believe. So that there's another of one of your packages. And now you know exactly what that looks like, right? Time. The time and everything in creating that.
Yes, I do.
And Jim, I totally hear you, because people ask me to create automations. Like, yeah, sure, that'll be easy. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think I could do this. I think I could do this. And then I get really, really excited, and I get way into the weeds, because it's like, you know, like I can make it so much better instead of just producing what exactly they asked for. But that's okay.
Yeah. So like one thing I'd love to do, and I started trying to get it and I never got it done, was, you know, once somebody signs up for a particular type of session, is sending out an email sequence to help prepare them for that session. So, hey, thanks for booking. Here's some things to think about. You know, next week, you know, this, you know, it's so many days prior to their session. Hey, don't forget to, you know, these are the things that you need to wear, or you know, practice your smile, whatever it may be, coordinate your clothing. Put all those type of things, visuals or a video or something like that, in an automated email out to them to help them prepare for their session.
So there's a couple ways you can do that. When they create it, you can have a sequence in place with delays. So it's going to be, this one goes out and then a certain amount of delay, and then the next one goes out and a certain amount of delay, and then the next one goes out, type of thing. Or you can kind of reverse engineer it, where they have their date and then they have reminders that happen a certain time before that. And oftentimes you have to like do it in minutes. So you're like, what is 7 days in minutes, you know, type of thing, where you have to like put all that information in. But you can do it like backed up. So whereas, you know, like if you always have at least a week between scheduling and, you know, like if you have that buffer in place in your scheduling, software, whatever you're using. I'm going to give you a little side note hint. Anyone who doesn't want to pay for Calendly anymore, Meeting Bird does the exact same thing for free. Just saying. So
You can book.me. I really like that platform.
I think you told me that too. I haven't checked that one. I don't know that it integrates with the automating stuff, but I haven't looked into it, so it might.
Calendly has a free version.
It does, but if you have multiple types of things that you're booking for, which in automations is a really good thing, because if someone books an hour podcast appointment with me, then I have a certain thing that happens versus an hour free consultation that, you know, that links to a certain thing, or an hour just like networking chat. All of those things are 1 hour long, but they all create a different automation to happen within my system.
So you have all that set up with Meeting Bird and Agile, and they talk to each other.
And my email.
And your email. Can I ask what email you use?
Gmail. Gmail. G Suite is amazing. Like
Mailchimp?
You can. I don't.
Oh, but Gmail automates all that. Gmail does all that for you?
Yeah, you can, well, like you can set up an automation within Gmail, and the great thing is it comes from, like, you can go in your sent file folder in Gmail and you'll see it. It sends it from Gmail. It's just you're not having to push the send button. But I mean, anything G Suite automates so well, so well. So that's where I tend to go for all of my stuff. And it's free. It's all free.
And when you say G Suite, you're talking about everything everything with Google, all the different.
Yeah, like reminders. Well, not reminders, tasks. You can throw a task in there. So like, you know, if you want, so I just set this up for someone who she's a network marketer. And so she has people doing sales and stuff. And so all she gets is an email, right? That says so-and-so made this sale or bought this product, and it might give a list of what. Anyway, so I helped her to create an automation for that, where it's like a text message immediately going out. Hey, thanks so much for purchasing. I'm so excited for you to get this product, that type of thing. And then there's a delay of a certain amount of time, just because I made it easy. There's other ways to do it, but there's a delay of a certain amount of time of, hey, you know, you should be getting your order in the next couple of days. Let me know if there's any issues or problems with it. I'm happy to help in any way I can. You know, a few days later, she wants to do a handwritten card. So there's a reminder that goes onto her Gmail, onto her, like G Suite, where she not only gets the reminder of send this person a thank you card, but also has their address right there. So she doesn't have to go look it up and figure out all that stuff. It's right there, so she can just throw it in, you know, throw it together, throw it in the mail. I actually recommend that she pre-write a lot of it. You know, not me, you know, you can put your own address on it ahead of time. You can do even the bulk of it, like each month have a different kind of thing that you say, but you're probably not going to have multiple sales within that month with the same person. So you can pre-write a whole bunch of them, because you say the same thing in a thank you note all the time, right? Like, you know, so just changing it up and doing a whole bunch in one way and then another. And then she just has to add like the pertinent information for that particular person and send it in the mail.
I love that idea. That's something I always think that's one of the things I want to do this, but how does she collect their physical email address? Because that's one of the challenges, you know, and it's on my intake form, but if they're, you know, not a current client or have never been a client, does she ask that somewhere then?
So because they're sending her a product.
Okay.
She has their address.
Okay.
So that would be a little bit more difficult for that aspect of it.
I mean,
but you can always send people like, I want to send you a card. What's your address? You know, that can even be automated as part of your process.
And I've had people say that, I've seen people, I don't know if it was automated or not, but be like, hey, I'm sending stuff out this week if you want one. Okay, sorry. I don't know if we're off track or on track. So like, what else are we learning today?
I'm also interested if you want to do a training class on G Suite and how to automate all those stuff. Sign me up.
Lisa, I'm sorry, I accidentally muted you, trying to let Krista in. So unmute yourself.
Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa, you're muted.
Okay.
All right. For like the third time, I'm going to unmute myself here.
Okay. Hi, Kristen.
So so Kristen, do you want to tell a little bit about your business super fast?
Sure. So my business that you guys know of me is not the business that I talked to Lisa about this morning. So I have a printing company with my husband, and we are not automated at all in any regard. I mean, even our sales process, we have QuickBooks and we do billing and things out of there, but everything else is done manually. And so our communications with our customers and things like that. So I'm really interested in getting that business automated. And so, yeah, that's why I wanted to get on here and just see some of the things you're talking about right now, you know, just sending out little videos. We're kind of going in this huge transformation with our company. My husband and I have just sort of taken it over from a controller that was handling it. So we really want to be like cool and funky and like up at the time. So we want to start like sending texts and then people know we have orders. We have orders all the time. I would love to, you know, have an order go out to somebody and say, you just left shipping. If you have any problems when it gets here, you know, please click here because it'll take you right to our shipping department and you can discuss it. You know, just giving people better connections and better, you know, better ways to fix the problem instead of, you know, we just don't know. Half the time we have problems with shipping and things and people don't tell us until they don't order the next time. So some of that kind of stuff. But yeah, and I would love to do some marketing. Right now we're using Mailchimp and we don't have really a CRM. We have one CRM. It's called like Cheap CRM or something. And we only have one salesman and he's using it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have heard of it. It doesn't integrate with automation, so I haven't looked into it. Like someone talks about a tool, I immediately go and see if I can integrate with it. If I don't even pay attention to it. It's just like,
yeah, that's great. You know, and I would love to talk to you because I have Infusionsoft for my my coaching business, and I've been thinking about putting that in with my printing business. So I would love to and we're using Mailchimp there right now. So it's fascinating to hear that they're now, you know, stuff's getting blocked as well. But we don't have any way. We're a company that's going to be in business for 50 years and about a year and a half. And we only have 300 emails in our email database. I was blown away. And so my husband and I just took the company over in December. We've been there, but he's been going up and I haven't worked there in 6 years. So our controller left. And so I've been coming in for the last several months and trying to just shift things and change things around. So that's why I really wanted to, you know, want to get involved in I had 2 people resign yesterday. We have a consultant that's working with us and she hasn't even started consulting and people are already dropping off like flies. And we've had like the same 22 to 24 people. I mean, people work there for 35 and 40 years. And so it was real interesting. But my automation web guy, the one that does all this stuff, resigned yesterday. So I'm like, okay, it's time to game on, time for me to get involved.
But sometimes that's the best opportunity to put stuff in place that is going to help you to grow for the future. So yeah, sorry that it's stressful.
It's such a blessing. I mean, as each one you know, 10 years ago, I would have had a complete meltdown and laid on the floor and gone, oh my God, I can't handle this. Now I'm like, oh gosh, let you go, people. You're out of here. We don't need you know, if you don't want to be here, we don't want you. We handed out Strengths Finders book for everybody to do self-test. And I think that started weeding people out. They're like, don't want to do personal development. They don't want to. And they were like, maybe I am in the wrong place. I'm like, you probably are. Time to go. So it was good. But yeah, anyway, it's exciting to do all the automation. I'm so ready for us to get into the 21st century here.
And I think that you'll find that every time I finally get because I'll always have this I need to automate this, I need to automate that, because I'm like, you know, the cobbler the kids don't have the shoes because I'm too busy making everyone else's shoes. Like that's what I feel like with my own processes, but I'm like, all right, okay, it's pretty sad that I don't have this automated. In fact, I had someone call me out on it because they're like, so I found this free email training on your website and then nothing happened when I signed up for it. It's like, oh, that was very deep. You went far. So I get, you know, I totally am. But every time I do put that process into place, it's this weight that is lifted off of me because I don't have to think about it anymore. I need to check up on it. I need to make sure that things are happening as they should, but I don't have to keep that top of mind. And
with my business, I use Calendly, and I really love that. I've got 4 or 5 different things set up. So I was glad to hear about that other option, you know, free option to use. That's cool. But I love my assistant set up all those things for me. So that's been really nice, but I would love to have more of that going on in our other business.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's sometimes, so something with like a brick and mortar, there's certain things that you're definitely going to have to change the way you do things you know, in order to automate it. It's not going to just be a simple like, okay, well, I was sending out this email and now I'm just going to automate that email to be sent out. You know, like there's going to be steps in place that have to happen first. But that's such a great opportunity to really look at what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because there's so many things in our business that we do it because we've always done it that way. And that might not be serving the purpose that you want it to serve. And it might not be portraying what you want to portray to your customers. So, I mean, I really am excited for you. I understand
I'm excited to have something. There's guaranteed sales that come through. There's customers that have been there for 50 years. I mean, when you have your own coaching business and you kind of go in and out, like right now, I can't work on that because I'm working on this. And, you know, it gets exhausting though, working on the coaching businesses and trying to find people that really wanted to do the work that they need to do. And so I've got like a real brick and mortar, like people actually want to buy things from us. They want things to go more smoothly. And I'm so excited to start automating there and put that in place. So yeah, you can help. I'm on board. We're gonna be friends.
Yes. Well, it sounds like you need to schedule an appointment, Lisa.
Oh yes.
To meet with
yes. No, we tried to this morning, but I had to get on another call. But we are definitely going to do that when we get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, we still have time. This is for another half an hour. I'm happy to answer any additional questions. I think that this is getting into all the stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Just because like you know, everyone has a business, but there's always problems for everyone. It's dealing with those leads when they come in a timely manner so that you aren't losing them. It's networking in a way that makes sense and doesn't take all your time, but yet makes those strategic partnerships that are going to help your business to grow. It's inputting the data in a way that makes sense so you have access to it later and follow up and things like that. You can follow up easily without having to put a lot of time and effort into it. All of those things are across the board. Every business needs to have. And so it's really nice to kind of hear how it translates to all the different types of businesses, because we do have quite the variety going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited
like,
too.
wow, there might be, yeah. This might be able to work for me.
I think this was just fantastic, Lisa. Really, really great information. And I think it really helped us all open our eyes on, okay, where are some of the problem areas that we might be struggling with, or what are some things that we can do to automate or have some automatic automation, emails or text messaging, whether it's with onboarding new customers or customer retention, you know, and follow-up systems, all of those things. I know I personally struggle with all of that as well, and care about my customers and clients and need to find systems so that they're taken care of, right?
Yeah.
I think I think it's very normal, especially for creatives to, you know, that live on this side of their brain, to be able to discipline this side of their brain to really be that strategic and automated when they're like, can we just talk about feelings for another hour? You know, instead of like, no, we're going to sit down and, but at the same time, we crave that organization that we don't naturally have in our lives. So it's great. I think it's a great, yeah. Like I said, there's plenty of, and it feels like I feel like I have hope.
Yes.
Well, one of my favorite parts of what I do is when you know, like people know what they need to work on, right? They know what's kind of a mess in their lives. And so you don't have to like necessarily go too much into that, but it's when they get the, aha, wait, all those things that I've meant to do or I should be doing, but I haven't had a chance to actually do, I can put processes into place for those too. And that's when people get excited, is when they feel like, oh, wait, I'm not going to have this horrible pit in my stomach anymore because I feel like I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I really should be doing this. But it always gets pushed to the back burner.
Yeah.
So you see yourself as a person helping I'm just paraphrasing here, helping people get processes in place for automation, if I'm hearing you correctly, which I love the sound of that. I mean, that sounds great, you know, like processes.
Yeah, it's both. And what my goal is, as you know, my should be doing is every time I figure out something that works for someone, to create a training for that. So that if you don't have the money basically to hire me to do it for you, I'll walk you through it and you can do it yourself. So that's like, you know, June has been this is what I want my business to look like, and these are the steps I'm taking to do that. So in fact, I'm going to be doing an inbox zero training next Tuesday. So it's free. Anyone wants to come, but it's a really easy way to introduce some automations into things in a non-scary way. And honestly, I don't want to be in your inbox. Like, your inbox needs to be about you and about how you want to set it up. And there's some definite things I can do to help you with that, but I don't really want to be in your inbox. I don't mind sending things out from your inbox, but you need to personalize the way that you deal with the incoming messages. So that's why. Huh?
What
inbox zero is at least a couple times a week you get your inbox down to zero.
Oh, girl, that would just be
okay.
I'm like, who else here is going to
only
admit
have
that?
6 inboxes, and I think I have about 30,000 now. Some of them are down by 180, but not many.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what time next Tuesday? So we can put on our calendar.
Where's that?
I was just going to do it on Zoom. We could definitely advertise it on everywhere, because I want
Beautiful Faces Going Places. Yeah,
Yes.
I'd love to do that. I know we have our virtual business week next week, so I think we have a 12 to 1:30 already booked. But if you're in the later afternoon, I would love to.
I think it was at 10, but I just put it on my schedule today. Like, I'm going to do this, so it's not like it can't be moved. It can definitely be moved.
No. You keep it to your time, and that's great. It sounds like a great training.
Well, and there will be recording after the fact. In the future, I'm actually going to be doing these trainings, and they're going to be free to attend in person, and then I'm going to charge for them after the fact, just because at least at first I want to get people like coming. It's at 11, so maybe I can move that earlier to 10:30. Not a problem.
No, that's okay. I would just.
It's not a big deal.
Keep it.
I haven't advertised it. I haven't even created the visuals for it yet, so we're good. I literally just did that earlier. You said Virtual Business Week starts at 12:30, right?
It starts at noon on Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday at noon. Wednesday happy hour. Thursday, Friday at noon. So. All
right. Nice. Yeah. So, well, and I loved being part of that last time, so I definitely don't want to take anyone away from that. So I will move my training just a little bit earlier.
I have at 11:30 on Tuesday, but other than that,
all right.
That's right. Out.
Does anyone else have any questions for Lisa before we wrap up?
Right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to ask, so.
What's that?
You get like just the possibilities become endless, and you start going like, wait, I'm a little overwhelmed.
I know. I know. You're absolutely right. But this was awesome, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise on automations and business processes. And if anyone would like to schedule a one-on-one, how is the best way for anyone to reach out to you?
So you can, I think most of us are connected through Facebook. So you can go to my Facebook profile. There's links to my business there. And you can go to sage-peak.com. That has a free consultation, which is the same thing as a strategy session or audit. I use so much different terminology to mean the same thing, because it just, different people respond to different things. That's a 1 hour free consultation for anyone. You don't have to even necessarily, this might not be the right time for you to institute some automations but I will give you different tools and things that you can use. Like, I love talking about free tools. So I'm going to tell people all the time about Agile CRM, about Meeting Bird, about what are my other ones. G Suite, that's the big one, and Jot Forms. Those are my go-tos because I feel like when they really understand that small business, that person that is just trying to make it, and that when they can grow, they will pay for those things, but they, gives them a very robust system from the beginning. I just try and support those tools as much as possible.
How do you charge after the initial consult if somebody's like, okay, this is still overwhelming, and
yeah,
actually,
so I do two ways. So you either buy the automation from me. So basically I give it to you as a pretty little package with all your things, and then you do with it whatever you want. You pay for the tools, it's your system, and you have access to all the back office stuff with it. So that's more expensive, or you can rent it from me. So you don't have to pay for the tools. You don't have to, and it ends up costing about what you would spend on the tools anyway for those automations. So most people choose that route. The thing about that is, like, if you want to institute additional automations or things like that, you're going to have to, or you want to change it anyway, that's going to be a cost. So, but I try and keep my prices pretty inexpensive for people. Just because because I want to help small business. Carol and I bonded over the fact that I used to work for a chamber of commerce like she did, and I love small business and I really want to help them. So I try and keep it pretty inexpensive and affordable. And like I said, I figure if it's what you would have spent to have the tools anyway, it's not that much of a hardship just to use me and my tools to do it. There will be a small, not small, but a reasonable setup fee. But it's nothing like if you just purchase the one and done whole process together. Because there are people who charge thousands of dollars for that, like tons of money. And I'm just like, oh, come on, people. It doesn't have to be that.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. This has been just incredible. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. And thank you guys for joining us. I hope you got some insights on business strategies and automations and processes. And please reach out to Lisa Kempton to schedule a one-on-one consultation with her. And that way you can be more productive and really live in your zone of genius. So. All right. Thank you, guys. And I hope to see you tomorrow for with our lighter life coach, Teresa Vermillion, tomorrow for Spark Conversations and New Connections at 12 o'clock. So, all right. We'll see you there. Great to see everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.